right, in this video, we're gonna be shaking up the meta. We're gonna be talking about the new top 5 underrated guns to use here in Modern Warfare 2 Season 3. If you're looking to drop some MGB nukes or at least increase your KD ratio with some underrated monsters, this is the video for you. If you guys enjoy, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, let me know down in the comment section what is your current KD ratio and if you guys have dropped an MGB nuke yet. If not, don't worry, I got you guys covered. And if things couldn't get any better, Boss Services got you covered. If you want the new Nuke Skin, help getting iridescent and ranked, or maxing out all your weapons and unlocking gold, platinum, polyatomic, and Orion, Boss Services can take care of your Call of Duty needs. With thousands of reviews, you can't go wrong. All the links are gonna be at the top of the description, and you can use code EARS for 5% off their store. Now, for the first weapon, we're taking a look at the STB-556. This weapon is criminally underrated. It recently got a massive buff, which has put it on the map, and you can use this interchangeably with the M4, the TAP-56, as well as the ISO Hemlock. Now, for the attachments, we are going to start off, and we're actually going to skip over the rear grip. These are not going to help out this weapon, and we're also going to skip the combs as well. These are not going to support this weapon and what we're trying to do here. We're going to start off with the stock, and we're going to use the Bruin MX9 stock, which is very important, bumping up that crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and much needed aim down sight speed, so we can snap on the players, get that first shot, and guarantee that kill. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that aim walking speed at -0.70 and additional aim down sight speed at -1.55. A fantastic attachment to run on the STB. We are going to rock an optic, and that's going to be the Cronin Mini Pro. This is going to be perfect if you are trying to get a clean and crisp optic picture. The iron sights are okay with this weapon, but honestly, having that blue dot sight is going to be really helpful. For the tuning, we're going to be bumping up that aim down sight speed at -2.52, and that is it. Now, we are going to be skipping over the laser. These are simply not going to help us out, but we are going to rock a barrel, and that's going to be that 24.4-inch Bruin S620 barrel. This is a mandatory attachment on the STB, drastically increasing that damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy as a nice bonus, as well as that recoil control. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that aim down sight speed at -0.28, and do not forget that aim walking speed at -0.29. Almost mirroring these tunings, but it's going to be really helpful at that close range encounter. Now, for muzzle, we are going to equip the Echoless 80. We're rocking this weapon with a muzzle so we can get on their spawn, live a quick and easy streak, and drop those MGBs. Sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, additional recoil smoothness. You cannot go wrong with this. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that bullet velocity at +0.81 and aim down sight speed at -0.86. A fantastic attachment and tune combination. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to utilize the Commando foregrip here to smooth out that recoil pattern, giving us that aim auto stability as well as recoil stabilization. For the tuning, all we're going to do is increase that aim walking speed at -0.12 and aim down sight speed at -0.77, a great attachment and tune combo. Now, once you go ahead and jump into the firing range, you're going to be very happy because we do have a quick ADS right there, easy to control. Manner of the build is going to be the FTAC Siege. Now, the nice thing about the FTAC Siege is this weapon can be used as a standalone primary. So essentially, you have 2 primary weapons on the same class setup, which is amazing. For the rear grip, we are going to rock that SIR 160 rear grip to increase that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that sprint to fire speed some more to -0.32 and aim down sight speed to -0.84. We are going to rock a stock, and that's going to be the Siege wire stock for that increased aim walking speed, recoil control, as well as sprint speed. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that aim walking speed some more at -1.32 and aim down sight speed at -1.94. We're not running an optic because the iron sights on this weapon are perfectly fine, but we are going to utilize a laser, and that's going to be that FGX DOD70, perfect for that increased aim down sight speed, stability, as well as sprint to fire speed. And for the tuning on this secondary, we are going to be bumping up that aim down sight speed some more to -44.42 and sprint to fire speed at -0.06. We are rocking a barrel which has an integrated suppressor, so it's going to be perfect in working like a true secondary as well as a primary. The NST-81 with that increased sound suppression, damage range, hipfire accuracy, as well as bullet velocity, is going to be the best option. And for the tuning, we're going to bump up that range at plus 0.23 and aim walking speed at negative 0.27. Obviously, the muzzle is going to be restricted, and we are going to finish off this class with the 72 round drum. This is a fantastic secondary, primary, if you will, and you should rock it on all your class setups. I have this same exact weapon and attachment on all of my builds. Now, we are going to rock the stun grenade, proximity mine, and for the perk package, we have on double time scavenger, resupply, quick fix, as well as the field upgrades, munitions box, and dead silence. Definitely a great class setup you guys cannot go wrong with. The STB is a W in my opinion. Now for class number 2, we're taking a look at the LACHMANN 5.56, another assault rifle that received a massive buff within the recent update in Season 3. We're starting off with the rear grip, and we're going to equip the LMK 64 grip, which is going to be a very important attachment to drastically increase that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed, so we can outgun ISO hemlock users. For the tuning, we are going to bump up that sprint to fire speed some more at negative 0.33 and more recoil steadiness at plus 0.35. Now, we are going to rock a stock, and we're actually going to take the stock from the LACHMANN sub and put it on the 5.56 to drastically increase that sprint speed, aim walking speed, crouch movement speed, and additional aim down sight speed, everything we need for a running gun assault rifle that's still nasty at longer ranges. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that aim walking speed at negative 1.86 and aim down sight speed at negative 3.35. We're not running an optic. The iron sights are crystal clear on this assault rifle, and we're also going to skip over the laser because we do not need this on this build. We are, however, going to rock a barrel, and we're going to rock that 15.9-inch LACHMANN wrap barrel. This is mandatory to outgun a lot of the other longer range ARs. For that increased bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, and fire accuracy is a nice bonus. You're going to love this attachment and find that it works well with this build. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing that aim down sight speed at negative 0.21 and recoil steadiness at plus 0.39. Now, for the muzzle, we have to rock the Echoless 80 here, a great attachment to run on their spawn, double quick and easy streak, and drop those nukes. That sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, additional recoil smoothness is what this class setup needs. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that bullet velocity at plus 0.58 and recoil smoothness at plus 1.13. And then finally, we are going to rock the F-Tab for 56 to completely smooth out that recoil pattern, giving us that stability, hip fire accuracy, and additional stabilization. And for the tuning, we are going to be increasing that aim walking speed at negative 0.26 and more stabilization at plus 0.75. Once you go ahead and jump in the firing range, you're going to be very happy because, like a lot of the other ARs, quick ADS, and obviously the recoil is going to be controllable straight up and vertical, and that's exactly what you want to have happen. For a minute of the build, we are going to be rocking the F-Tac Siege, the submachine gun variation on all my class setups, stun grenade, proximity mine, and for the perks, we have double time scavenger, resupply, quick fix, and for the field upgrades, we are utilizing munitions box and dead silence. This is a phenomenal class that you guys should definitely check out if you're tired of running the M4 or the TAC 56. Now for class number 3, we're taking a look at the TAC 56. I have to go ahead and include this weapon in this video because a lot of people, including myself, love this assault rifle, and it works out amazing. If you're trying to run and gun, to go out for longer ranges, you seriously cannot go wrong with this weapon. Now, for the attachments, you are rocking that demo clean shot grip. You guys know the drill here for that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up that sprint to fire speed at negative 0.19 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.26. Now, for the stock we have in the Cardinal stock, there's going to be a great attachment here so you can run around and dominate at close ranges and still have an AR that's ridiculously effective at longer ranges. In walking speed, sprint speed, you can't go wrong. For the tuning, we are going to bump up that aim walking speed some more to negative 1.55 and aim down sight speed at negative 1.81. We're not running an optic because the iron sights are amazing, and we're also not running a laser because that's going to be irrelevant and it's a waste of an attachment slot. For the barrel, we are going to rock that 17.5-inch Tundra Pro barrel. This is going to go ahead and increase that long-range capability, making sure this weapon is remaining overpowered. We're getting that damage range, hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity. That's all we need. Now, for the tuning, we are going to bump up that aim down sight speed at negative 0.12 and more steadiness at plus 0.35. The muzzle, the Komodo Heavy, this is going to work out amazing on this AR. You're going to see in the firing range why we like to rock it. Horizontal recoil control, that's all we need. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing that gun kick at plus 0.10 and stabilization at plus 0.44. And finally, we are going to rock the Commando foregrip to smooth out the recoil pattern, making sure this weapon is incredibly easy to use and handle. And you guys can see here, look how ridiculous this is. It does not move. So good. Now, you can skip over the tuning on the Commando foregrip if you want to, but if you want to tune it, aim walking speed at negative 0.08 and recoil stabilization at plus 0.59. But the man of the build is going to be amazing. We have the F-Tac Siege SMG variation, like all my class setups, stun grenade, proximity mine, and for the perks, we are utilizing double time scavenger, resupply, quick fix, and for the field upgrades, we have pro enabled, munitions box, and dead silence. You can't go wrong with this class setup. If you're looking for something that can get you your first MGB nuke guaranteed, the Type 56 got your back. Now, for class setup number 4, we're taking a look at the Vel 46. I would consider this weapon an underrated submachine gun because everybody is still on the Vazdev 9K and LACHMANN sub bandwagon for good reason, but don't sleep on this weapon. Now, we're skipping over the rear grip because these are not going to help us out. We're also skipping over the stock. Now, normally I'd rock that collapse stock, not anymore. The optic obviously is going to be completely irrelevant, but we are going to rock a laser, and that's going to be the VOK LZR 7 milliwatt for that increased aim down sight speed, stability, as well as sprint to fire speed. You cannot go wrong with this. We're going to bump up that close range handling tenfold. For the tuning, we are going to increase that aim down sight speed at negative 37.84 and sprint to fire speed to negative 0.37 as well. We are rocking a barrel, and that lock DX 203mm is a mandatory attachment. You have to rock this to increase that velocity, damage range, recoil control, and fire accuracy to increase this weapon's handling. Now, for the tuning, we are going to bump up that aim down sight speed at negative 0.15 and more steadiness at plus 0.34. We are rocking this weapon loud and proud with that X10 Razor comp. I used to suppress the Vel all the time, but honestly, there are far better attachments, this included. This is going to give that increased horizontal and vertical recoil control, making this weapon incredibly easy to use. For the tuning, we are going to bump up that gun kick at plus 0.21 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.46. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to utilize the Shark Fin 90. This is going to have no cons and smooth up recoil patterns, so a huge W for the submachine gun. For the tuning, we are going to increase that aim walking speed at negative 0.28 and recoil stabilization at plus 0.65. And then finally, we are going to utilize the magazine attachment, and we're going to rock the 50 round mag, not the 60. 50 is all we need, because you're going to see here in the firing range, we still have a quick ADS and controllable recoil. So that's going to be a huge positive when trying to build a submachine gun class, in my personal opinion. Man of the setup is going to be the F-Tac Siege, the submachine gun version, stun grenade, proximity mine, and for the perks, we are utilizing double time scavenger, resupply, quick fix, as well as the field upgrades, pro munitions box, and dead silence. This is a great setup you guys should check out if you're looking for another submachine gun to use except the Vazdev 9K and the LACHMANN sub. And then finally, for class setup number 5, we're taking a look at the FSS Hurricane. This is a dangerously underrated weapon here in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know why people don't run this gun. I absolutely love it. Now, we are going to rock a rear grip, and that's going to be the Phantom Grip to increase that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. This is a great attachment on the submachine gun, allowing it to snap on the players and get that first shot. Now, for the tuning, we are going to increase the sprint to fire speed some more to negative 0.29 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.61. We are going to rock a stock, and we're going to rock the Demo Quicksilver stock. This is going to be a fantastic attachment, bumping up that sprint speed, aim walking speed, crouch movement speed, and aim down sight speed, making sure we can outgun every single SMG player we come across. For the tuning, we are going to bump up that aim walking speed at negative 1.94 and aim down sight speed at negative 2.71. We are not running an optic, we are not running a laser, but we are going to rock a barrel, and that's going to be that FSS Cannonade 16-inch barrel to increase that damage range, hip fire accuracy, as well as velocity. You have to run this unless you want to have this weapon be a hit marker machine. For the tuning, we are going to increase that aim down sight speed at negative 0.32 and steadiness at plus 0.15. Now, we are going to suppress the submachine gun. This is one of the only subs that I like to suppress because it's a little bit better at longer ranges. The Senguard MK5 is going to be perfect, increasing that suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and smoothness, so you can run around their spawn, build a quick and easy streak, and people out very easily and still have that long range punch. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing that bullet velocity at plus 0.81 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.95. And then finally, we are going to rock that commando foregrip to smooth out that recoil pattern. And for the tuning, we are going to be increasing that aim walking speed at negative 0.21 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.46. Jumping in the firing range, you're going to see this setup is still solid. Very easy to control, almost like an AR. So that's going to be a huge positive in my opinion. Now, obviously, from the build, we do have that F-Tac Siege. This is going to work great, really good for this class setup. Stun Grenade, Proximity Mine, and for the perks, Double Time Scavenger, Resupply, Quick Fix, and for the field upgrades, Pro Enabled, Munitions Box, and Dead Silence. You're going to love this class setup. It is amazing. These are going to be the new top 5 underrated weapons here in Modern Warfare 2 Season 3. Now, if there are 2 classes I want you to check out right now, definitely give the STB 556 a go. This is a very, very slept on assault rifle. And also go ahead and give the Vel 46 a go. You're going to really enjoy these 2 weapons. Honestly, all of them. But if it was my guess on what weapon you would get a nuke with without using hard meta, these are going to be the 2. So go ahead, check these out. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Deuces. Hope these class setups help.